Holy moly, it's Friday, guys, and I've been waiting to discuss Chicago Pro, get a little bit into the Columbia Pro. The lineup just updated with everyone, so let's get into it, guys. Happy Friday afternoon when you guys are probably watching this. I'm going to be at the show in less than 12 hours, so I'm excited to be there and watching this in person. Let's throw up this list for the Chicago Pro right here, guys. I'm going to go off and read all these names real quick. We got Muhammad Ali, Jakeem Camps Angel, Patrick Asidu, Ayindi Avery, Monte Bailey, Donald Brumfield, Daryl Bryant, Drew Cullen, Jason Hazard, Jorge Hernandez, or George Hernandez, Benjamin Iverson, Alonzo Jefferson, Jared Jenkins, Nick Caillou, Evan Lee, Evan Lelis, Adon Marcus, Javier Mullings, Chevy Phillips, Alexander Rogers, Justo A. Scott Jr., Anthony Sullivan, Jacob Swisher, Alexander Toplan, and Marcus Wesley. That's our lineup for the Chicago Pro, one of the most prestigious events in bodybuilding, just behind like the New York and the Pittsburgh Pro. It's a big event to win. So let's just look at this list real quick, and I'm going to tell you guys who I can see making noise, and then I'm going to give you, my rundown on who I think makes the first call out, then in the order. You guys know how the show goes. So I believe this is, if this is the right Patrick, this is the one that just came in 6th in the Vancouver Pro, I believe. So will he make noise here? Excuse me, guys. I don't think he will. Unfortunately, this lineup's just too deep for him to make that first call out. Got Monte Bailey, Drew Cullen, Nick Caillou, Javier Mullings, Chevy Phillips. I've seen Alexander Rogers on Instagram. He's been popping up. He's looking crazy and bubbly. And then we got Toplan. There's a few names I can see making noise here. So first call out, obviously I'm going to say there's probably only going to be like 6 guys in that first call out. They've been real different, bringing 8, then 6, then 6, then 4. So we'll see what they do here. But my prediction on the 6 that we'll see in that first call out is going to be Monte. It's going to be Drew. It's going to be Nick. It's going to be Javier. It's going to be Chevy. It's going to be Toplan. That's the 6 I see making that first call out. If they bring out 6, that it's just them dudes right there. And yeah, I mean, all of those guys are Olympians or previous Olympians except Drew. And Drew's been making so much noise. You guys already know with Drew. Every show he's done, he's placed in the top 3 no matter what. So we'll see how he does here. And it's gonna be a crazy show because a lot of these people on this lineup, their backs are absolutely insane. So I mean, if we're talking backs, right? Oh, excuse me. If we're talking backs, right, we have Nick Caillou, we have Alexander Toplan, Chevy Phillips. Those backs on stage, even Javier. It's just going to be tough up there, and this show is going to be a little different than the others just because of how everyone's stacked up against each other. So let's go over my top 4. I don't think Monte or Chevy cracked that top 4, leaving Drew, Toplan, Nick, and Javier, right? So this is where it gets interesting. Every single one of these guys brings an absolutely different package and different flavor to the stage, right? So we have Javier, right? His structure is crazy. Probably one of the most muscle and structure we have in the men's physique division right now. We got Toplan, who represents a little bit of the same of Aaron Banks, right? With the tall, structure and the wide lats from the back. You know, he's 6'2", like 225 on stage. And then we have Nick Ku, who is a shorter, stockier Asian guy that brings one of the most insane backs that you guys have ever seen, right? And the short, stocky Asian guy has been doing really well. We got Jeremy that just won. We have Jason that just won 2 shows as well. And then we have Drew. Drew brings probably one of the nastiest fronts, probably the nastiest front at this show. And it's crazy because he's got one of the nastiest fronts in the division. But his back is just lacking a little bit. And his last showing at Vancouver is not a good representation of his back because he was pinching his traps. And he didn't do that in the previous shows. But let's see how Drew changes to that. So 4 different dudes. How do I see this going at this show? It's going to be tough and it's going to be up to the judges. So let's tell you guys what I see happening at this show. 4th, I'm going to have to put my boy Drew in 4th. This is a huge step up in shows. Obviously, there's quality to shows. And it's just the quality at this show is so dense, right? We have Javier. This is his 2nd show, so he's going to lose that extra layer that he had on him at the Republic of Texas. So he's going to be coming in peeled, which we have never seen, which will be interesting. But I think Drew, when they just turn to the back at this show, it's going to be a little difficult for Drew to step on stage and compare the backs to the other guys. Obviously, from the front, Drew is probably going to look the best, him or Toplan. But it's just the back that's holding Drew back a little bit. He's just got to improve on his back and his lats. And I mean, once he does that, he's because of his front being so crazy already, once his lats just come out, he's honestly instantly in that contention for like making noise at the Olympia. But I just don't think he's there yet. And yeah, so I have my boy Drew in 4th. Like I always mention every video, guys, no hard feelings or anything like that. It's just me putting my prediction out there based on what we've seen and the results and stuff like that from prior years. 3rd, I'm going to have Javier. I think he's going to be coming in crazy. I really do. The level of conditioning will be really hard to tell with him. That's the thing with him and Toplan is they've rarely updated what they look like. Javier has not updated anything at all. He just came to Texas Pro and people saw him. You know, he had a little bit of water to him, another layer that he could probably shred down. So we'll see if he did that in this week. It's only been a week's time, so we'll see. But as of right now, I have Javier coming in 3rd, just because we haven't seen him absolutely diced yet, and I need to be able to see that if I'm gonna have him, you know, move up in my predictions and stuff like that. 2nd, it's tough, right? So Toplan obviously plays Sitio, same with Javier, but Toplan has been so hungry. I talk to him a lot. And he's weighing in right now at the lowest he's ever weighed in, right? Since his pro debut, right? So he's going to be like 220 on stage, which is going to be absolutely crazy for his physique. He's got one of the gnarliest fronts. This is a photo I'm going to throw up, guys. This is just like, I believe this is Miami. His Miami shot with the New York Pro background. And it's no, it's not. I think this is just his New York Pro shot. But he edited his legs because of the when Tyler Mannion made his video on like what men's physique's gonna look like. But Alex has one of the gnarliest fronts, and here's a photo of him updating. You can see the conditioning is going to be there, and that's been one of the biggest questions: is what is Alex gonna bring to this show? Because using Instagram is all we have really to see where pros are at during their prep and stuff like that. And it's not like Instagram is everything, because obviously it's when you step on stage next to somebody, you know, you're really going to expose them for their weaknesses and everything like that. Because on Instagram, everybody can look great. But Toplan's conditioning is coming in next level. But I don't know if he is going to be able to beat Nick at this show, just because of, you know, recency bias with Jason and Jeremy winning these shows, the short and stockier builds really shining. And the thing is, I think Nick is just a better version of what Jason and Jeremy bring. Obviously Jeremy brings that crazy waist, but from the back, it's just going to be different, and I'll get into that after I finish talking about Toplan a little more. His conditioning is going to be on. He's going to have the best conditioning he's had, because the only feedback he really had, I think, at the O was to bring up his back, like the density on his back, and then also bring in the Miami conditioning, which was his best conditioning and his best package he's ever had. So we'll see what Alex brings. I'll let you guys know. Hopefully I can get some footage in person. I really am going to try my best to talk to these guys. Obviously it's up to them, and I'm not going to try to bother them. They're in a show trying to win, so I'm not going to try to pester them if they're trying to stay locked in or stuff like that. So winner of the show, Chicago Pro, I got Nick KU. This is somebody ridiculous, guys. I mean, for like I said, his back, let me show you. Here's 3 different angles. His back, this is 5 days ago, guys, so he hasn't even started carving up. With the low inserted lats, it just, his back looks so freaking huge, man. I wonder how much Nick actually weighs, because he just has such a good balance of muscle and aesthetic to his back. Like, if you just look at it, it's crazy. I mean, here's him posing his back, right? Nick's brought up the shoulders now. The one thing that he had lacking was his shoulders compared to his arms. His arms were overpowering his shoulders. You can see from the back, his rear delts are full. His triceps are not taking over his back pose. His back, obviously, crazy dense, crazy wide. From the front, his shoulders are keeping up with his arms now. So Nick has made those adjustments that he needed to his physique. Yeah. I mean, that's it. And I've talked to Nick a lot too, especially since last year. This is one of the most motivated guys I've met, and he lives, eats, sleeps, and breathes this. I'm not saying other guys don't. Obviously, other guys at this level are all pushing themselves as hard as they can. But Nick is just gonna bring a different type of level to this show, and I cannot wait to see what he does and how much noise he makes at this show. On top of that, it's him defending it. He won the Chicago Pro last year. I mentioned this in another video, guys, prior this year, that Nick is defending his crown and champion status at the Chicago Pro, so it's his to lose. And he's made the improvements necessary as well. So it's everyone else's to take, Nick's to lose. That's my top 4 at the Chicago Pro. I cannot wait to go there and watch this live, guys. It's going to be crazy. And if I had to put out the 5th and 6th placings, Monte in 6th, Chevy in 5th. He's going to bring in a next level conditioning. I've already seen his waist and talked to him as well. He's going to be up there, guys. He can honestly even break the top 3 if somebody slips. So that's that in the Chicago Pro. I'm going to go over this Columbia Pro real quick. Gonna go over the lineup and who I see making noise and what I see happening real quick for you guys. So we have Wellington Rodrigo Barbosa, Luca Biolo, Victor Manuel Ramirez Chavez, Ishmael Dominguez, Diego Garcia, Juan Manuel Goches, Kareem Hawash, Alejandro Ledores, oh my gosh, not pronouncing that one, Luis Alonso Leon, Felipe Marins, Francisco Martinez, Clarence McSpadden Jr., St. Michael Modi, Dennis Moriol, Mateus Neri, Maki Ono, Rodrigo Vele de Paz, Luis Anthony del Rosario, Johan Salazar, and Lucas V. Viotis. Yeah, something like that. So, not many guys I know in this lineup. Obviously, Victor Manuel Chavez won the Body B1 Pro earlier in this year, so he could be a front runner. Ishmael Dominguez just came in second behind Jeremy, could be a front runner. Juan Manuel Gochez will make first call-outs. Don't know if he'll be a front runner though. Kareem Hawash, he could make a lot of noise here. Love his physique. Clarence, I think his back just isn't there yet. But he's gonna probably make that first call-out. And yeah, I mean, those are the guys I see making noise. Hopefully somebody surprises me. I don't know too many of these Brazilian guys, but they're always bringing something different and something crazy. So if I had to guess, it's going to be Victor Manuel Ramirez Chavez or Ishmael winning this show. And Victor taking time off, we'll see. But I think Ishmael will nail this and probably take this Columbia Pro and get his O qualification. So that is that. I'm super excited to go to the Chicago Pro. Hopefully I can get some great content for you guys tomorrow. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I tried not to make it long. I really could have made this like an hour and 20 minutes. Like I could have sit here and talked forever. But I got to condense this for you guys. For the people watching that just want to see what's going on this weekend in the men's physique division. You guys know I'm the #1 men's physique show review and prediction channel. So till Tuesday, guys, take care, and I'll see you guys then.